Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Stern Agee. Founded in 1901, Stern Agee is a national company with more than a century's worth of success in the financial field. But the eight-person team here at Stern Agee Knoxville have over 100 years combined experience as well. So you're talking about a company with great experts, great history, great track record, and a local office here with a team just as sharp. All East Tennessee folks. Stern Agee. If you're dealing with your financial future, if you're trying to plan out your retirement, I can't tell you better people than the folks at Stern Agee to turn to. Stern Agee Knoxville, you saw the phone number. Call them this week. All right. Lightning round, 4 quick questions. Got about, 45 seconds to a minute on each of these. We'll go around the table here. Jimmy, Nick Saban has signed yet another contract extension with yet another raise at Alabama. Literally, he's getting new deals every 6 months at this point. This is his second of the year. Was he wise to stay at Alabama, or should he have restarted his clock at Texas?
I've debated that one about whether he should restart it at Texas, but I think he's got it going so well at Alabama. Texas is in a conference not as good, but I'm going to say he was probably better off staying in Alabama. I know some people were nipping at his heels a little bit about the Auburn game, but I think he's going to win more national championships at Alabama. I think he's going to catch or pass Bear Bryant, and to do it in the toughest conference in the country, I think carries a little bit more weight. So I think he was better to stay at Alabama.
I'm a big believer in, and I've said it on the show, coaches should always restart the clock. I think this is an exception. If you're doing this at an Alabama or a Notre Dame, and you're already 62 years old, you're close enough to retirement that I think you can survive and continue to win there. Bob Hodge, like the ghost of Christmas future, as soon as yesterday's loss ended on television, up popped Bruce Pearl, which I'm sure a lot of UT fans noticed. He was doing the color broadcast on the next ESPN game. Is there anything Cuonzo Martin can do, between now and March to hush the Bruce Pearl talk?
It is the ghost of Christmas future and the ghost of Christmas past. I'm going to say no. I think that Cuonzo Martin, we talked earlier about his laid-back style, which was exactly opposite of Bruce Pearl during the games. Bruce Pearl was famous for sweating. So, no, I don't think there is. I don't care how much he wins. There's a segment of the population that likes Bruce Pearl.
Mark Bruce Pearl. Okay, Mark. You worked for both Pearl and Martin, played for Pearl. Let's turn it around and put you on the hot seat. Pearl could easily say this won't happen. He could end the talk by saying it's not going to happen. Coaches never do that, though. Is there any reason to think that Bruce Pearl will turn around and say, I'm not coming back?
Coming back to UT
right.
Or coaching in general?
Coming back to UT.
I don't think he would do either. I think coaching is in his blood. I think he will coach again somewhere. But he's not going to just hush the crowd and say, hey, look, I had a great time in Tennessee, but I'm moving on past that. Yeah. I think he's just staying focused on his ESPN stuff.
Coaches like to be loved, let's face it. I mean, Nick Saban came out and complained, it's not fair what they did to Mack Brown. You could have ended it a week ago, yeah. Nick. You could have put out a press release saying, I'm sticking in Alabama. You didn't do it. And he said, I think it stinks what the media did. Stinks what you did. All right, because he's watching. Well, it is online, sportsource.tv. What do you think of that, Nick? All right, Chuck. South Carolina's Steve Spurrier needled his own alma mater this week, saying, somebody told me the Gators are staying home for the holidays. Maybe we can get a bunch of Gators to come to our game. Was the old ball coach being funny or a jerk when firing needles at his alma mater?
That's just being Spurrier the jerk. And he probably had his shirt on this time when he said something like that. But that's just Steve Spurrier being Steve Spurrier.
Okay. Texas, Tennessee, Phillip Fulmer, Mack Brown, comparison to be drawn. We'll discuss that coming back. What lessons could this UT have for that UT? We'll discuss. Come on back.